say that because it's so well-rounded, it's so comprehensive. It taps on so many different areas of your life, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, and it's certain things that you have control over, and there's certain things you just don't. Hey, welcome to another video. Welcome to the Baggio channel. This is the home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that you would need or want to become the most empowered version of yourself. Self-care is a journey, and we speak about that all the time. I think I say that on every video, how self-care is this journey. And I say that because it's so well-rounded, it's so comprehensive. It taps on so many different areas of your life, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, and it's certain things that you have control over, and there's certain things you just don't. I'm going to do 2 parts of this video, and it's going to be called the Serenity video, and I call it the Serenity video because it's based on the Serenity prayer. Everybody know what the Serenity prayer is. The Serenity prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I've always loved that prayer because it makes you focus on what it is that you can do. Certain things you can, certain things you cannot do. In this video, I'm going to talk about what are those things that you can change that would what are some of the things that you know that you can change in your circumstances, in your wellness plan, in your self-care journey? It's certain things that you can change. I want to identify how you can tell if you can change it. So what are those markers? What are those points in your journey where you know I can change this? Because the prayer, the Serenity prayer is, help me to change what I can, accept what I can't, but have the wisdom to know the difference. How do we get that wisdom to know the difference? How do you know the difference between what I can and cannot change? And I feel that a lot of us are met with this barrage of frustration because you think that you can change certain things that you cannot. And that's what the context of this video is about. This part A of the video is, what can you change? How do you know what you can change? So I'm going to give you 5 markers, identifiers, to let you know that I can change this thing, right? So the first thing is your actions, how you behave, the choices you make, and the effort you put in. That is the thing that you can change. How you behave, the choices that you make, and the effort that you put in. That's all on you. That is one of those things that I can change. And I always encourage people to start with your behavior. Always start with your behavior when it comes to different things of making change. If you're in an environment and say the environment is untidy, what can you do to change? You clean up your area, your behavior, your effort that you put into whatever it is, whether it's a project you're working on, you do what you do. Focus on your behavior and making sure that everything that you are accountable for and what you can do, you do. And you do it with excellence. Another way that you can know the difference between what you can change is your words. You can change your words. You can craft conversations and you can craft your delivery in such a way that it makes an impact. You can also choose to be silent. You don't have to say anything. That has been, in this stage in my life, silence has been something that I have learned that will assist me in my next journey even more so than it has previously. You have to understand that what you say, how you say it, or if you say it at all, that is an action that you can change. You can decide, am I going to speak on this? If I do speak on it, how am I going to speak on it? Will I choose to just not say anything at all? So you can change your words, your reactions. A lot of times what things that happen is not about what has actually happened. A lot of times it's about how you're choosing to respond to it. And I know a lot of things are emotionally charged. It's like knee-jerk reactions where you respond to things based on your emotions or the shock value of it or whatever it is, but you're still in charge of how you react. You can't excuse if you do something that is wild and deprivating. If that's your response to something, you still are responsible for it because you had to choose that response. Whether it was a quick choice, whether it was a well thought out choice, it was still yours to make. So your reactions to the situation, you choose that. Seriously, that is powerful. I am learning that when things happen, sometimes I don't have to react. I've always been very reactionary, and immediately so. And it hasn't been to my advantage oftentimes, because sometimes you need time to just sleep on things and sit on things and just let your mind process what has gone on. I've always been like very reactionary, but I'm learning. That's why I say the self-care process is a process. You learn how to quiet yourself down. You learn how to quiet yourself down and just go into your space and allow whatever's happening to process. I'm sure it'll be clearer after that than if you just blurt out whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment. Your boundaries. You can control your boundaries. You set your boundaries. You make your boundaries. You create your boundaries. Nobody creates your boundaries but you. They're your boundaries. That's what you can change. You can change your boundaries, whether I allow or disallow. It's up to you. I know what I need to protect my well-being. I know what I need to protect my peace. You have to know what you need. You can set, release, increase, decrease those boundaries at will. You can control that. You can change that. And last but not least, you can control your habits. It's a lot we got control over. You can control your habits, what you do, the things you do every day, what you read, your self-care practices, the people you're around, how early you get up, how late you go to bed. You can control that. You have control over we have control over more than we wish to admit, right? You can control it. The Serenity prayer says, give me the wisdom to know the difference, basically, between what I can and cannot control. Give me the wisdom to understand what I can and cannot control. Because what I will say, when you're trying to control things that is out of your scope, it's out of your pay grade, you are met with frustration on every end. And your self-care, your well-being, it just deteriorates because you're in a sphere and you're in a realm that doesn't belong to you. So what we just discussed, your actions, your words, your reactions, your boundaries, your habits, you control those. And a lot of times that can make major differences in your circumstances. But what you can't control, you let it go. Thank you for listening. This is the Bajo channel, home of self-care, beauty, wellness, and any and everything that'll help you to become the most empowered version of you. Thank you for listening. And remember that self-care is the best care. Later.